Hey guys, it's me, Paranormal Sarah. I'm so glad that you're joining me. Um, I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time, and then I look down, I'm like, holy cow balls, it's already the 12th, and I had meant to do this on like the 3rd or the 4th, but I keep telling myself I'm going to be moving upstairs and getting my old camera and everything because we just moved, but it's just not happening. So I'm going to give you a really quick lowdown because I've encouraged people who get my free newsletter to go and check on my YouTube. I'm going to be sharing more reports about kind of intuition, the energies of the universe, and what to expect out of some things that we see both happening astrologically, but also in science and in society, but then also kind of biologically and with the rhythms of what we see in a lot of naturalistic or spiritual communities happening. And then as far as my intuition goes, whenever I'm sitting down and I'm doing my process and I'm meditating over some of these messages, what exactly am I getting and what the hell does it all mean? How do we apply it, right? Because that's what we want to know. We want to know, like, cool, Pluto's going direct. What does that mean? Well, for me, I've tried to encourage my clients and for those who get intuitive mentorship to write down the planets. We all kind of learn them, right? And I do include Pluto as a planet. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And then you have certain asteroids. You have the moon, different satellites, different things happening throughout. That's Opal. Throughout space that absolutely change, influence, affect your body. Because it changes and affects your body, like a moon phase, for example, you're going to notice kind of like when you go to the grocery store and everyone goes at once, like this murmuration of human behavior. You see that type of generalization happening with certain people, certain personalities, certain energies reacting in a certain way. And when you start to kind of learn those generalities, both for me working in psychology, social services, you start to see how different personalities change and how they become influenced at certain times of the year, constellations, all sorts of things. So it takes a lifetime of learning, if not more. But what's exciting is that I get to give you these cheats. So this October is very exhausting. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling exhausted? Because I am. It's one of those we have to take time for ourselves. We're noticing little cracks in our relationships. We're noticing areas as everyone gets out their micro magnifying glass and says, oh, look at that little ingrown hair. Cut the leg off. Like, people are making really rash emotional decisions. Part of that is the high alert sign of Cancer, where this new moon, we had Venus going retrograded with Scorpio, and then we had the new moon in Libra. And the new moon in Libra kind of tells everybody, like, they start thinking about charity. What can I do for myself that gives to others? What can I do for myself that leaves a legacy? What can I do to work with others to enhance my own energy and my own power and my own focus and my own confidence? How am I going to work well with those around me? It's really interesting to see people with a lot of money and zero creativity are giving out their money to people with high creativity and no money. People are being charitable, people that love to go gamble, people that love to do whatever. They're going to go out and they're going to do it because they're like, you know what? It's me time right now. And I need to focus on me and what I do best. And so people are going to go out and do that. Now, that might mean that they overspend. That might mean that they become a little bit too impulsive because things are going to be cranking it up a notch. If you can just imagine that lever getting, people are going to be push it to the limit. They're going to be pushing it. And the 8th was the new moon in Libra. That was when kind of shit hit the fan, so to speak. It was the new moon. It was completely dark outside. There was no light. It was darkness. It was emotional. People were sick. People were nauseated. People were really struggling emotionally. And that's because right now, from the new moon to the 24th, people are going to be micro-evaluating their relationships, their intimacy, their romance, and their passion. Now, when you think about romance, passion, intimacy, those things are pretty big life influencers, right? Those are like pillars, man. And so to be making adjustments in this for fairness and for justice to move with Libra and to be completely exhausted but still give everything you have, to be struggling with finding that greater purpose and lighting that fire, but then using the fire of others that might even be destructive to help ebb and flow and ease your efforts and energies this time. I can't say of the year, because another thing to keep in mind is that this is the first time in like 7 years that Uranus is doing this swing around, and it was back in 2011-ish. We saw ourselves kind of in a similar situation, like major life evaluation, major life change. We kind of felt this omnipotent right before 2012, remember? And you're like, oh, is it going to be the end of the world? Is it going to be the Mayan Apocalypse? Like, what's happening here? And people kind of started feeling this breakout of their normal routine. And that's what Uranus does. Uranus comes around and is like, hey, bitches, it's been 7 years. Fucking shake this potty up. Like, he's bringing the Everclear. Uranus is. He's not messing around. And that can really get crazy if you already know everyone's emotions are on high, and then people are going crazy with charity. They might have just given away too much and went like, oh, I didn't mean to give that away. Now I'm pissed. And empathy is on high alert with everybody. We're trying to empathize with everybody. We're like, oh, I'm trying to change my life. Oh, I'm changing my life too. Really, I'm being sober for the first time in 20 years. Oh my God, me too. Like, everybody's making these huge, major life shifts for charity, for good, for giving and receiving. And they're seeing how they work with others, but you don't give away all of your energy. It can be so exhausting. So you have to prioritize, make your to-do list, and put yourself on it at the beginning and the end, okay? So that you get an opportunity to really spend time on yourself as the 24th rolls around. The 23rd, the sun moves into Scorpio. What does that mean? Well, it depends on how Scorpio affects you. A lot of times Scorpio is mysterious. They have a secret. For me, whenever Scorpio is on the rise, I'm going to be getting new information. I want to start paying attention. I want to be a little bit more quiet. But it's because the next day is a full moon in Taurus. Now, any full moon is going to influence you. It's going to influence everybody. It's definitely going to influence Mother Earth. So if you are kind of feeling omnipotent about major catastrophe, the full moon's right around that time to kind of be looking at that. That's going to be when, like, babies give birth and people go crazy, and we're kind of in a spiritual purgatory right now where there's this major feeling of ascension. Like, if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it forever. If I don't do this, I'm going to be condemned to hell. Like, if I don't do this, this may never happen again. There's some desperation in that message. And if your emotions kick you there in the right time, in the wrong moment, and you just happen to be in Panama City, this Michael hurricane, that's when stuff is going to get bad, because they say it's going to be a level 2, it's going to be a level 5. They say it's going to be a level 3, it's going to be a level 6. I want you to keep in mind that Mother Nature right now, what the news is doing and what everyone else is doing is they're trying to empathize and minimize and go, oh my God, no, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We've got this alert. We got FEMA. We got this. It's going to be fine. That's Libra. That's that justice, the scales, you know, oh, just if we do this and this will happen, this will be great. And Mother Earth is like, no, I've had enough. You know, and it's just like major things are going to happen and you can't fight it. The biggest thing with this new moon in Libra shifting into the full moon in Taurus is that this is like a major wave. I think of the movie Surf's Up. And if you've not seen that or you're not a parent, I'm sorry. It's a really good cartoon movie. Shia LaBeouf. You got the Big Lebowski, right, as the main penguin. Zooey Deschanel is in there. You've got all sorts of fun people. It's very funny. Still child appropriate, and it's a positive feeling, great soundtrack. And the penguin that wants more than anything to like be the best server and be number one, and like that's his motivation. He wants success, but he doesn't quite realize what success is and how to attain it and what it is. And if you kind of watch that movie and you see how through relationships and intimacy and possession, how to build things from the ground up, how to give what you get, you will see this transformation at the end of the movie. He learns it's not about the trophy, it's not about all that. But, right, he starts soaring through this beautiful wave, and it's like an epiphany. And that's what's happening right now, is there's this major epiphany of self-expression and harmonizing with the environment. People are moving across the country right now. People are going to completely move across the country. They're going to change their career. They're going to, fuck this party, I'm out! And they're going to do something completely different and crazy, and they're going to be taking amazing risks. If done the right way, for the right reasons, you absolutely will enjoy the ride. You have to sit back and enjoy the ride. It's not about what board you're on. It's not about where you're going. It's not about whether you do some tubular trick. It's just about enjoying it. Maybe you stay on the board, maybe you don't. Maybe a shark eats you, maybe you don't. But if you're not having fun, it's not worth it at all. And if you do ride the best wave of your life, it definitely won't be magical if your perspective isn't there. So the energy in the universe is like, we're going to clean the closet for you. We are going to cut all of your cords if you haven't done it. If by October 24th you've not let go, purged, cut things out, done a catharsis, prioritized, made your list, and stepped out to get it into action, Mother Earth is going to do it for you. And just like a parent says, clean up your room, clean up your room, clean up your room. When she finally comes downstairs, if your room isn't clean, she's going to throw it all in the trash. And she's going to say, you know what? I fucking told you. Oh, you thought you needed this? Wrong. I guess you didn't need it. I guess you didn't love it. I guess you didn't love it enough to clean it up. It's going to get crazy. So after the 24th, then there's going to be this huge upset, financial upset. Oh shit, here's a hurricane. Oh shit, it's worse than we thought. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. There's going to be a lot of oh shits on the 25th, on the morning of the 25th. It's going to be the day after prom day, okay? And of course, the moon nodes are bending. There's going to be meditation should really be, what is worth? What is worth? What is this worth? What is that worth? Do I need this? Do I want this? Evaluating how to break free from addiction, from stress, from bad relationships, from toxic people, how to break free. And then spiritually, the next message is, of course, as the moon goes into Leo, Venus goes into Libra, Mercury goes into Sagittarius, all of this stuff happens. On the 31st, planets are going to shift. And on the 31st, go figure, Halloween, right? The planets are going to be shifting, and it's going to be a great time for peace. People are going to be like, oh shit, on the 25th, people went crazy, people went cray-cray, they went rioting and looting, and all of it's gone now, and now it's just the quiet aftermath. And on the 31st, that's when like the Mother Teresas are going to come out and be like, well, we prepared, and we saw this coming, we got everyone to safety, and now we're here with beef jerky and water. Who needs help? And everybody's going to be like, you know, a week after 9/11 when people still had their American flags up. It's going to be a time where people have evaluated through major life change what's important to them, so the energies are going to subside. Okay? Oh, there it is. There's my husband. All right, guys, so that's my cheat sheet for you. I want you to use those messages and that information to kind of guide you where you're going. And if you have questions, reach out for me specifically at theparanormalsarah@gmail.com. I put that link right down here. And you can email me, and we can do assessments or readings or whatever you need. But until next time, guys, I hope that this finds you well.